next session for this evening, our second session, is titled Idea of India for the Next 75 Years, Opportunities, Challenges, and Expectations. But before I go on to that, I would share a small piece of information that my team here has reminded me to. All of us who are a part of this global conference are here to have different speakers speak to us on varied issues, concepts, and themes. But as you participate, we would also like to offer something in return. And that is in the form of a standardized certificate, a certificate that can come to you only with a click. If you please go through our comment box in this YouTube or live video, you would find a link. If you click on the link, you would go onto a form and just fill in your name, and your certificate will be emailed to you, duly signed by our founder president, Dr. Sudhirji Tambe. I request all our participants to please go ahead and download this link. So as we move on to our next session, the idea of India for the next 75 years, opportunities, challenges, and expectations. I quote Dr. Babasaheb Ambedkar, the architect of the Indian Constitution. He said, "They cannot create history who forget history." So now, after having a glance of what India has been in the past 75 years, we move ahead to speak about our future. The idea of India for the next 75 years. And to start this session, we have the young and dynamic leader from US joining us live. He is Mr. Shree Thanedar, a member of the Michigan House of Representatives, a Democrat. Born in Belgaum, India in 1955, after completing his master's program for the University of Mumbai, he went on to pursue his master's in chemistry from the University of Akron. A known face in the chemical industry, Shree Thanedar is also known for his skills for turning around troubled companies. We welcome you, sir, for this virtual global conference 2021, and I open the stage for your remarks on the idea of India for the next 75 years, opportunities, challenges, and expectations. Let's hear from Mr. Shree Thanedar.
Good morning from the US. I am in the city of Detroit, Michigan. And I want to thank my friend, Mr. Sachin Itkar, Dr. Gawande, Tambe sir, and all of the organizers for this great event from Jaihind People's Movement. What a great concept, and we are taking advantage of the online platform to reach people all across the world, small towns, villages, and large towns. So I thank the organizers for this amazing opportunity to exchange ideas, motivate young people, and have this dialogue among all of us. And I think one of the key thing here is the youth of India. I think one of the richest resource India has is its young population. India is the richest nation in the world in terms of population of young people. We have 20% of world's youngest people, 25 and under. And that is a huge asset. That's an asset that's going to propel India to the forefront, be a superpower, Mahasatta. Bharat जेव्हा महासत्ता होईल, त्याचं कारण हे असेल की आपल्या देशातील तरुण मंडळी, त्यांचा उत्साह, त्यांची संख्या आणि त्यांचं सक्सेस. So we need to focus on our young people And the best thing to do would be to ask the young people, what is it that this country can do for them? You know, we can sit here and try to guess what the young people want, but what is truly important is to listen to them, ask them the kind of challenges our young people are facing today, the kind of obstacles our young people are facing today, the kind of skills that they need to succeed. And that's what I've done. I've done some research. I've talked to some young people, and I'm learn a lot. I've learned a lot from them because my experiences as a young person go back 40 some years back, right? So it may not be relevant today as much as what the young people are telling us today. Some 40 years ago, I grew up in a economically disadvantaged family. There were, in the 1970s, there weren't as many job opportunities, there weren't as many entrepreneurial opportunities available. And I chose the path to come to United States. I came to US after a master's degree in chemistry and having worked at the Baba Atomic Research Center. I came to United States, got a PhD, worked here as a chemist, and then started many small businesses, creating jobs, creating economic growth in the United States. In the process, I did well for my family, won entrepreneurship awards, and helped establish many businesses here. Later on, I realized that I've achieved my American dream in America, but there are a lot of Americans in America. There are 30% of Americans are at or below poverty level. And I felt it was my duty to give back to a country which has given me so much. And with that thought, I exited my business and decided to enter into the political process. I ran for governor of Michigan. I did not get elected there, but then I got elected as a state representative, and here I am in Michigan. I believe Dr. Gawande has a question. I saw your hand raised.
No, sir.
Okay,
Go ahead.
good. All right. So if there are any questions, I'll be happy to answer. So I am currently a state representative, which is like a member of assembly, an MLA, in the Michigan House of Representatives. So I get a chance to, as an immigrant, Indian immigrant, having come to United States, now I am involved in creating laws for the state of Michigan. And I'm focusing on education, I'm focusing on developing young people, and I'm focusing on addressing economic growth and promoting entrepreneurship among young people. So looking back, what is the young people of India are facing today? And what we find that even though India has the largest strength of young people, we also lack skills. We also lack the skills that are needed for us to spring into the next level. Technology skills, particularly, are needed, and we need to really understand where technologies such as mobility, the electric cars, technologies such as biotechnology, critical robotics, critical areas of future growth, future technology needs, we need to train our young people today for the skills that they are going to need for the next decade. So number one is, creating skilled workforce is absolutely essential. Knowing where the technology is going, knowing where the growth is going to happen, and ensuring that our young people are equipped with the skills that they need. Now, this skill development is not just the responsibility of the government. Just as much as the government needs to fund such skill development centers, the private sector needs to take its responsibility. Private sector often, wants skilled people and are concerned about lack of skilled workforce. But we need to ensure that the training that we are providing to young people is in line with what is needed by the marketplace, what is needed by the industry. And who can tell the government and better than the industry itself? The industry, which has the pulse of the market, must be a partner with the government in setting up training and education facilities for young people to acquire knowledge and skills that will equip them for the future. So this is very, very critical that our young people have the necessary resources, have the necessary skills, they have the necessary training for them to succeed. Secondly, we need to make opportunities available to all sectors. There has to be a certain amount of openness and access. The access to opportunities, the access to skills training, the access to entrepreneurship need to be across the board, regardless of a person's financial status, regardless of a person's social status, his or her gender, age, caste, social background. Regardless of any of these things, the opportunities need to be made available. And that means these opportunities need to be publicized, need to be accessed. Job opportunities. Often young people tell me that there is not a good way for them to know what opportunities are available. And this information need to be made readily accessible to young people, both in terms of the opportunity to acquire skills as well as job opportunities, business opportunities. Secondly, the young person must be able to take on a career of his or her choice. A lot of times, family puts a lot of pressure, influence on young people in terms of what career, what subject matter they should study, how, and that needs to be less so. The family needs to be less involved in that, and it is the young person who should choose his or her career path is what needs to happen, because if they choose something that they truly believe in and they truly like, and they choose a career, an area that is truly of interest to them, they're more likely to succeed than being told by family to do what they should be doing. But there is a role for the family, there is a role for society, and that is career counseling. There is our children today do not get the proper career counseling. We need to have counseling available in high schools and colleges in terms of people seeking and getting mentorship and career counseling, giving them an idea about where the technology is going and where the future belongs. So I'm not going to take a lot of time I think there are a lot of interesting speakers today. And so I'm going to yield my floor to others to express their thoughts and their ideas. But I think the key thing here is skill development. The key thing here is listening to our young people. And the key thing here is a society that provides opportunities and skill training to all, regardless of their social status or gender. None of these biases should apply, and every young people from all sectors, regardless of gender, regardless of financial background, should get the best training opportunities and opportunities for entrepreneurial success. So we need to make entrepreneurship as a major, promote entrepreneurship as a major career for our young people. So with that, I'm going to stop here. And if there are any questions, I'll be happy to answer. I'm work on the Michigan State's budget. So I have a budget meeting coming up shortly, but I will stay here for a few more minutes if anybody has any questions.
Yes.
But I thank you.
Thank you so much, sir. We
Yes,
do
sir.
have a question, and that's posed by Dr. Suraj Gawande. He is joining us from New Jersey. I would request Doctor to please go ahead with this question.
Thanedar ji, an excellent talk, an excellent vision. And we know that, the Detroit is automobile hub, and India has lot of the automobile resources. So my question is a little bit different. My question is that, I would really appreciate if you can comment how the, the difference between the how the government runs here and how the government runs in India. Because what happened in India, if government change, the policy changes. Does it happens in US or
Well,
I would really, yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, well, again, we are a two-party system, and I happen to be a Democrat. But as you can see, in Michigan, previously we had Republican governor. We have currently a divided government in Michigan. Both of our houses, the Michigan Representative House and the Michigan Senate, are controlled by the Republican Party. However, our governor is a Democrat. So we have what is called a divided government, and we have made that work. We have made that work. A divided government doesn't need to be a dysfunctional government. And regardless of which party comes to power, our commitment to our young people should remain the same. Our commitment to develop skills. This is not a partition issue. Developing skills, promoting entrepreneurship, making opportunities accessible regardless of a person's age or gender or economic status or caste. These are all universal values that all parties must adapt to, and it should not matter because economic growth is in the best interest of all political parties. And that's how we have done in Michigan. Despite a divided government, we have come together. We just put together a $70 billion budget, which I was a small part of. And we are able to work together. And that's what we need to see, regardless of who is wins the election or who the prime minister is.
Great, thank you.
So much. Thank you so much for your time and this excellent speech, Thanedar ji, and we give you all the best wishes from our side for all your future endeavors, especially with regards to the work that you're doing in the field of youth empowerment and developing the youth of your own area in that sense. I also pick up the last line you said, saying divided government doesn't need to be a dysfunctional government. And I think democracies across the world need to learn from the sentence that you have just mentioned here. So we wish you all the best and more power to you, sir. Thank you so much for joining us today.